Hello everyone and welcome back to Ways of the World, a brief global history with sources as we continue our study of commonalities and variations in Africa, the Americas, and Pacific Oceania. And today our focus is going to be on civilizations of the Andes. Alright, let's look at this map of the civilizations of the Andes. There's no single civilization that dominated the Andes region during the Second Wave era. Rather, a number of religious movements, states, and empires rose and fell before the entire region was encompassed by the Inca Empire in the 15th century. Now, I'd like for you to consider the geography and environment of the Moche civilization shown on the map here in orange. In what ways did the Moche need to adapt to these conditions? The Moche were nestled in the small coastal plateau between the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean, a region that was subject to drought, earthquakes, and even torrential rains. This likely meant that the Moche needed to diversify their means of food acquisition, from taking full advantage of the resources of the Pacific and using agricultural land efficiently through complex irrigation systems to developing new ways to farm on sloped surfaces. All right, Chavin, a Pan-Andean religious movement. Now, there are numerous ceremonial centers that have been uncovered dating to 2000 to 1000 BCE. But around 900 BCE, Chavin de Huantar became the focus of a religious movement. Now, Chavin de Huantar was well located along trade routes with elaborate temple complexes, and beliefs apparently drew on both the desert region and rainforest. And there's evidence of hallucinogenic San Pedro cactus. Now, there's widespread imitation across Peru and beyond, but did not become an empire and faded by 200 BCE. All right, the Moche, a civilization of the coast. They flourished between 100 and 800 CE along a 250-mile stretch of Peru's north coast. The agriculture was based on a complex irrigation system, but they also relied on fishing. Now, this society was ruled by warrior priests. Some lived on top of huge pyramids, and these rituals mediated between humans and gods. We see the use of hallucinogenic drugs, human sacrifice, and the rulers had elaborate burials. And there's superb craftsmanship of elite objects. Now, there was an ecological disruption in the 6th century CE that undermined the civilization. All right, here's the Moche ruler in the center of the grave, dating to about 250 CE. He was about 40 years old when he died, and at 5 feet 4 inches long, which was actually quite tall for the time. In what ways are these burial sites of the Moche similar to those in other civilizations we've studied? What differences can you find? Well, these burial sites compare favorably with the Egyptian sites as they contained numerous luxury goods used in life, showed practices similar to mummification, the cotton strips, and demonstrated one social class clearly, even for women. They're also similar in that they contain bodies of other individuals, family members, warriors, guards, servants, and other sacrificial victims, willing or not, meant to accompany the high-ranking person buried there into the afterlife. Moreover, the items left at these sites help to demonstrate ways of life in these civilizations. Now, the most discernible difference of the Moche burial sites is that they were constructed specifically for prominent women. As you can see, there are 4 other skeletons around the important elite there in the middle. Okay, an object found in the tomb of the Lady of Cao. So what signs of political power were found in the tombs of elite women in Moche society? Well, signs of political power in the Moche women's tombs included nose rings, showing men carrying war clubs, 2 copper and wood staffs, weapons including war clubs and spears, and goblets likely used in sacrificial rituals. All right, the Wari and Tiwanaku, empires of the interior. So states flourished between 400 and 1000 CE in Andean highlands. Is centered in large urban capitals with monumental architecture, stratified populations in the tens of thousands, and these empires included lower elevations of the eastern and western Andean slopes in the highlands. They were linked by caravan trade, and we see an influence of a capital city as the cultural and religious center. and the cultural influence spread well beyond the state. And the Wari used terraced agriculture while the Tiwanaku raised field systems. And the Wari cities were built to a common plan and linked by highways that suggest a tighter political control. Now, there's little overt conflict or warfare between them, and despite the border, apparently there's not much mingling between the two. They both collapsed around 1000 CE, with a series of smaller kingdoms that developed afterward, and then the Inca drew on earlier states to build the empire. And that concludes our study of civilizations of the Andes. I will see you guys next time for alternatives to civilizations.